Hello, my name is Gavin Wood, and this is my sprint review. Go ahead and launch the project. I have my desktop audio recording, but I'm going to lower the music to 0, and master is already low from when I launched earlier. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate from the basement level. I got to do these first two light boxes, so I'm going to pause the video to ignore 30 seconds of unnecessary time. Right, finishing the last light box. There we go. Bring up my Jira task. Fix locker bug where player can teleport back to locker if they interact with locker just before dying. So this is a pretty game-breaking bug if you spam the input left mouse button. After you failed a skill, or when he was pulling you out of the locker, the monster, it would teleport you back into locker, and then anywhere you are on the map, you could click the input again, and it'd teleport you back in the locker. You'd also respawn in it, so it was pretty bad. But I was spamming the left mouse button right there when he was pulling me out, and nothing. I couldn't get back in. The bug was pretty much gone. Demonstrate again. I want to spam left mouse button, and nothing happens. So yeah, there we go. Onto hiding object polish. As a player, I want a bug-free and immersive experience for interacting with the hiding objects found throughout the game. Player interact text removed from hiding objects while being captured. So it used to, when you're being captured, you'd come out of the locker and it would show the press left mouse button to enter locker, which doesn't make sense because you can't actually enter it. Now it says cannot enter, which it still says that now because every time you fail a skill check and he pulls you out, or even if you just fell and get out, you can't enter that locker for a set amount of time. Now I can, so it's not that long of a cooldown. So we'll go to the next one. New locker texture implemented. See the new texture right there. Rust, more detail. It's not just a gray material with a little metallic in it. Oh yeah, player exit. I forgot about this one. Player exits incorrect location and faces correct direction. So at first I had code in here that would make it you'd face, like it would force your camera to face direction and the player transform. That was actually one of the main components to the locker bug. So I removed that and instead made the collision of to enter locker a lot smaller. So basically you were able to like enter locker from like ridiculous distances like this. So you now have to be at least as close to getting in, so it's not as abrupt as being like right here and clicking it, or even thinking worst cases right here almost. So basically, the way I have it is monsters coming in a back way. Instead of having the code because it caused bugs, you just have to be a lot closer. So when you exit, you're still really close to the locker, and it's not like, super immersive braking. This is a cooldown on it. And the camera faces wherever you're looking as you're exiting the locker, like it would in real life. If you're looking this way, you'll start looking this way when you're getting out. So works out pretty well. UI skill check increased in size. It used to be a scale of 1. Now it's 1.5, so it's about 50% bigger, which I think is a pretty good size. Audio feedback adding, or audio feedback added for getting in and out of tables. So this is kind of hard to come up with because you don't really make noise getting in and out under the table, maybe like a knee popping or something. But instead I just made like a little thud, so like you're doing an input. So it has a little thud like that. Next, visual effect takes place on skill check failed. It's right here. Failed skill check. Failed. It does a little red screen flash. You can see the monster running to it. Oh, he saw me and swipes at me. Alright. Sound cue plays when skill check begins. Ping right there. Alright. That's it for the locker, or the hiding object polish. So the tables also have all that implemented. It does the screen flash, sound, all that. It's a child blueprint of basically the hiding object. Implement new animations to monster and ghost enemies. So I'll show the hiding, the walking and investigate. So basically he walks to something, and when he investigates, he does the idle, which is like a look around. So these are the idle and investigates the same animation. Catching the player, I'll show that as I just got caught, so you saw it there, but I'll show it again. Breaking out of the cage, I actually didn't implement this. The Keith, who did the cage and all that programming, he put it in the montage of that. So I did not actually implement this. So we'll go and show the animations. So step on this, you can see him doing his walk. He'll do his running crawl when he sees me. chase after me, and when he catches me, he does a swipe like that. I guess I need to do the idle. I think if I fail a skill check, he'll come and look at it and do his little idle for a second. So this is idle. He looks around. Then he walks away. He has idle and investigates. I guess the same animation. So ghost enemy uses idle animation. The ghost never sits still. Really, it's always doing the floating / movement. So these are kind of, it doesn't have the idle. This stuff kind of progresses as we go throughout the month and change ideas. So it doesn't catch the player. It just plays a noise when it sees the player to alert the main monster to come get them. And it does have a death and despawning animation as well. The conclusion criteria there. So I'm going to pause the video and get the flashlight, as you can't really see over there without it. So be right back. All right, I'm back and I have the flashlight. I'm going to try to, like, if you shine the flashlight on the ghost, it despawns it. So I'm going to try to show it without despawning it. You can see it right there. It's doing its little float like that. See if I can bring it out to the light. And then when I shine it with the light, it does the despawn. Monster's coming at me soon. It's going to get me. What I can do about that. So you can see it's floating and then it's despawned. Those are really the only two animations on the ghost enemy. See it doing. Oh, that one despawned as well. See if it comes back up. I'll show it again. And that might take too long. So we'll go to the next one. Fix bug with enemy not facing correct direction when catching the player in the locker. So it used to be the monster could face some pretty like weird directions when getting the player from the locker. So now skill check failed. It's gonna take a little bit to get over here. I think he was pretty far away. Where'd he go? I guess he was too far away for the. If he's too far away from the locker, he won't actually grab you out just because it takes so long for him to get there. It just kind of expires. But this one I think should be close enough. Yeah, it pulls me, looks at me the correct way, and swipes at me. So that's that. Or he could like be facing the complete. He could be pull you out and then be looking this way and swiping. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But now he faces the correct direction. So keep going. Correct monster footstep audio to acquire depending on distance from player. So this is, I just need to get his attention and show how far he is. I just edited the attenuation settings to make it to where it's pretty balanced, where if you hear him, you have time to react, but you don't just hear him from across the map and always know where he's at. See, he's over there and I can't hear him anymore. I still can't hear him. Just right there, I could hear him. See if I step on that again. He's not going to come all the way to the glass pile because he's only interested for like, I think 10 or 15 seconds. So if it takes him that long to get there, he's going to lose interest and just go back to his normal patrolling. But yeah, footstep audio. It used to be you could kind of hear him from really far away. You could, right here, I could pinpoint exactly where he was, which kind of takes the danger out of things. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have to showcase. I hope you enjoyed and have a good one.
Hello, this is Lane Campbell from Team Lunar. I'm going to be doing my sprint review for the most recent sprint, final sprint, for our project Shattered Sanity. I'll go ahead and show it opening on Perforce. Go to options real quick and turn music down. Make sure you can hear me. Okay, and before I jump in, we'll go to Jira. First thing I'll show is a bug that I took care of, where the player is able to move around while using the crowbar to open doors. We wanted it so that the player could not move around while performing this action. So I'll hop back in. And to show that, I'll go to this level where I can do it quickly. Got my crowbar. Go over here to the door. I've started opening it. I'm able to move the camera around, which is fine. But what's notable is I cannot move around anymore, where before I could. Until I open the door, I'm free to move around again. So that is taken care of. Just to make it easier, I'm going to move these over here as I go over them. Alright, next, let's do add debris props to the basement level. So I just basically needed to add some props to sell the dilapidated state of the asylum. So let's go over to that level. Basement. Right away, we see all the tiles that I've added to sell that. All these broken tiles, I should say. And if we go in here, there's more broken tiles and more broken tiles, plenty of them. All these boards and also piles of debris have been added for that task. So this is complete. Next, I'll show the dead patients in basement level. I actually already walked past them, but I'll show them off. Again, here we have 3 of our dead patients. There are more throughout the level, but as you can see, they are implemented, so this task is complete. Let's also go over the new walls, new wall assets, and I did have a floor one. Oh, here we go. And the assets for the floor. So 2 separate Jira tasks, but we can see them both in the shot here. Got the new tile walls. I also put on the ceiling, and also the floor, both provided by our artists. So both of these tasks are complete. While we're here, we can also look at the task adjust lights in the opening hallway so that they are centered on the ceiling. It was pointed out by one of our playtesters that they were off center and just a little distracting if you noticed it. And so these are the lights in question. As you can see, they are now in the center of the hallway, less distracting. So that task is complete. We can also go over the hospital assets that I added to the level. I didn't need too many because the basement has more of the cafeteria and conference areas of a hospital rather than like the inpatient, but I did provide some right here in the opening. We have a gurney, a side table, this IV divider, and stool right here, all part of that task. I already moved it. Okay. So next, we can go over the implement final art for the button generator. We've also already seen it, but I'll go show it again. So this is our button generator right here. I'll go show it in action one more time, but it is completely implemented and functioning as intended with its final art and all. So this task is complete. Okay, and then implement the final art for the hiding cafeteria tables. The cafeteria tables that you hide in is what that means. I'll show that as it's right here in the next room. These right here are our final art assets provided by the artists, functioning as intended. And I called him over. Okay. So that task is complete. Oh, that's exactly where. Alright. Let's do the updated kitchen slash cafeteria assets. So I added quite a few for this one. Probably my favorite scene that I have in my level. Oh, I should also say that I added a few janitorial things to be included in the hospital assets, and things like fire extinguishers, things you'd expect to find in a hospital that aren't just medical related. But here's the kitchen, where I've added these tables, these racks, food, plates, broken plates, bowls, knife, block holder, cutting block, these mounts, ovens, pots, pans, trash cans, all these things in order to sell the scene of the hospital, the kitchen. Next we can go over adding visual cues for the slide through areas, the areas the player can slide right through. For this, I've added under each of the slide through areas a trail of blood going right between also this bloody handprint to get the player's attention. Before, there was nothing but these little openings, and they could be hard to notice, so these make them stand out quite a bit more. Working as intended, of course. We're also in a good spot to show the flickering lights above next point of interest. You can see it right here. I've got my flickering light above the pickup, the flashlight. Make sure the player picks that up. And you should be able to see it in here as well. See off in the distance, that is where the next button generator is. We got flickering lights, and that will continue throughout the level. Each button generator will have a flickering light to draw the player's attention. Let's also go over cables leading from one button generator to another. And I've also been able to kind of see those already, but here I created a spline actor blueprint that takes a mesh and replicates it, and basically just makes it so that I can create things like this that go from one area to the other. You see it is leading the player along. Goodbye, ghost. To their next point of interest, the next light box, and then that light box has another cable for the player to follow. So this task is successfully completed as well. Alright, next we will go over implementing the final art for the monster. I think the best way to do that is to just go over and die from him. That's the best way to get a close-up look at him. Turn some lights on over there to help. You can see him right there. Got a pretty good, fairly good look at him from this safe vantage point. He's got his final arts. He's patrolling around like intended, and if he notices me, he comes over and gets me. Just like we want. So he is taken care of. The last thing I have, right? Yep, last thing I have is the enemy. There was a bug where the enemies in the cafeteria could despawn if you were to go into the corner by the exit, and I'll show the particular corner here. It's actually right over there by the door. If you went over there, you could just despawn all the enemies because you would hit a collision that purposefully removes them. But now if I go over here and try to trigger that collision, the enemies are not despawning as intended, still here. So that bug has been resolved. And those are all of my tasks completed. Thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Lillian Truax, and I am a part of Team Lunar, and this is my portion of our sprint review video for the milestone for our final project and portfolio. I'll load this up. I am going to make sure the music is off. But the first thing I would like, the first task I would like to showcase here is making the mouse sensitivity adjustable. Make the mouse sensitivity able for the player to adjust. This allows the player to lower or raise the mouse sensitivity for the game. I have 2 hours logged in here. And if I go to options, I can raise the mouse sensitivity up super high. I'll go back and you can see it goes pretty fast. And then if I go back into it and go super low, it goes really slow. And this also does segue into another task I have completed for this sprint, which is including the mouse sensitivity on the option menu. With the new mouse sensitivity being added to the project, add the option to adjust the mouse sensitivity with a slider on the options menu. This will be added below the volume sliders. I have 1 hour logged in there. That kind of showcases a little bit. You see the mouse sensitivity can be adjusted here in the options menu under the music sliders and with a slider of its own. I'll put about right there because I like my mouse sensitivity a little bit lower, at least for this game. Right. And another task that I have completed for this sprint is to make a lost levels screen on the level select for prototype levels we want to include. Adjust one of the milestone level select widgets to be a lost levels widget that allow the player to access prototypes that we want to include in the final build. I have 30 minutes logged in here. For this, we'll go back to the main menu. And then we'll go to level select, and here you can see the lost levels button here. And then it says lost levels, and it has a little description of lost levels for people who are unfamiliar. Lost levels are levels that were made in development but were not included in the final levels. These are mostly prototype levels made to showcase different mechanics. Right. And then this also segues into another task that I have done, which is remove toy box level and unwanted prototypes. Remove toy box level and other prototype levels from being accessed by the player. This will include removing all the buttons and references in the level select widgets. I have 1 hour logged in here. And originally, we have 6 prototype levels and then the warehouse level. Originally, we had 6 more prototype levels, and then we also had our toy box level. So we decided which ones of the prototype levels we wanted to keep, and I removed all the buttons and references to the other levels that we wanted to not include, as well as the toy box. Right. Another task that I have completed for this sprint is fixing the crowbar widget. So if the player has the crowbar and dies and loses the crowbar, the widget is still in the viewport. When the player dies and loses the crowbar, the widget will remove from the viewport. If the player has the crowbar and dies and loses the crowbar, the widget is still in the viewport. These are the steps to replicate it, and the severity was high. It took me about 10 minutes to be able to get that working again. For this, we'll go into the hospital. I'll try to get this all I can find. There you go. So as you can see here, we do have the crowbar widget. Where's the crowbar? We have the crowbar widget. And I will just go and get killed real quick. Alright, we try, and you can see I don't have the crowbar anymore because it wasn't saved just yet, and so the crowbar widget is gone. Alright, so the next task that I have completed is use a pen string on the win screen. So instead of using text lines for each of the stats within the win widget, change that to a pen string so that the anchors are not messed up and reduce room for error. I have 1 hour logged in here. Right here. As you can see right up here, I put a vertical box and then the text in there, so I just had to anchor one thing down, and they all look very nice. I did the same thing with the stats. Here with the times and the collectibles, where it has a dash and the colons, that's where I use the append string to make things look nicer and to make sure that they won't mess up their position. This also segues into another task I have completed, which is add a max for collectible stats in the win screen. Within the win widget, add a max count for the collectibles within the level. This will help the player understand that they have collected all the collectibles or not. So it's 20 minutes logged. And there are 3 here, so I have 2 for the collectibles. Another task that I have completed was updating all of the UI buttons to match. So update all the UI buttons to match that are available to the player within the game to be the same. This includes the different images for normal, hovered, and pressed. I spent about 20 minutes on this. So as you can see, these, whenever they're hovered and then when I press, they are the same as the buttons from the main menu, which I will show you, as well as these. Right, so all of these buttons are the same. If we even go to the credits and the back button, level select, the buttons for all the levels are the same with hovered and clicked. The options menus. Right. All right, and then the next task that I have completed was fix tutorials to all have the same formula. Some tutorials pop up when the player overlaps the collision, and some pop up when the player interacts with an object. Change this so that all the tutorials pop up when the player overlaps the collision. I spent about 1 hour and 30 minutes on this. I originally estimated about an hour, but it took me just a little bit longer. So, right, I can show that here. This tutorial for here, you can see this started when I overlapped the collision. The hiding one, it will be the same too. I overlap the collision. So, no. Try to get the flashlight so I can show you another one as well. That also overlaps too. And you did see where it overlapped here as well. Alrighty. The next task that I also completed was adjusting anchors on tutorial screens. Adjust and double check anchors on the tutorial widgets to make sure that everything is in the correct position. This will need to be tested in the build as well as in the editor. And if you go here to tutorials, they only will be available to the player after they've seen the pop-up. But I double checked all of the widgets and the anchors within this widget to make sure that they all are in the correct position. I did this for every single one of these, so they all look the way that we want them to. Go. The next task I worked on was specify lockers, tables, and beds are hiding areas within the tutorials. Specify in the hiding area tutorials that beds, tables, and lockers are areas for the player to hide. This will help give the player more information so that they understand where to hide clearly. I spent about 30 minutes on this. For this, we need to go back to the main menu. Start game. Once we get over here, and the pop-up appears, you can see at the top it says hide from monster in lockers, under tables, and under beds. Okay. So the next task that I have completed was update credits to include audio designer and artists. Update the credit widgets to include sections for the art team and the audio student that are now working on the project. Add their names to show those sections and add anchors so they stay in the correct position. I have spent about 10 minutes on this. For this, we'll go to the main menu and the credits. And you can see the names of the artists here under the game artists and the name for the music production here. I double checked with both game artists and the music production student to make sure I got their names correctly and how they wanted them. Right, the next task I worked on was fix when holding the pickup objects where the interact text still appears. So for this, when the player picks up and holds a pickup object, the interaction text for that object still appears. When the player picks up and holds a pickup object, the interaction for the text for that object will not appear on screen. It's supposed to be the expected result, and the actual result is the same as the summary. Those steps replicate. I spent about 30 minutes on this. I can show you that to you guys. Let's go to level select, the warehouse level. So for these, see the text does not appear anymore when you are holding and picking up the object. Put that over there. Because this segues into another task that I have completed, which is specialized text, interact text for generators. Make the interact text for generators specific to the generators. For example, press left mouse button to pull lever. This way the player will know exactly what they're interacting with. So I resume. Alrighty. Then we pick up these. Now it's all complete. It's press L and B to pull lever. There we go. The next task that I worked on was specialize interact text for lockers. Make the interact text for the lockers specific to the lockers. So press L and B to open locker. This way the player will know exactly what they're interacting with. This is 20 minutes that I spent on this. And the one that I specifically did was for entering the locker. So you can see here, press L and B to enter locker. That is the widget that I made for it. All right. And then another task that I worked on was include in-game writing to tell the player where to go towards the lit areas. So make widgets in the game dialog that tells the player to move toward the areas that are lit. These will be placed in the basement level, will go onto the player's viewport throughout the introduction of the level when they have completed the light box and unlocked another. This will let the player know that when completing the light boxes, we'll turn on lights within the level. This will also give visual feedback to the player on where they need to go next. Spent 10 minutes on this. The only issue is that we decided within this sprint that we did not actually want to include those. So we thought it would break too much immersion for the player. And we have made other things a bit more obvious with the cables to show the players where they need to go next. So I can now showcase that one. But those are the tasks that I have completed for this sprint. Thank you so much for watching.
Hello everybody, my name is Michael Baltazar, and today we'll be going over Team Lunar's final sprints of Shattered Sanity, formerly known as So No One Will Cry. And with my 15 tasks, it was specialized interact text for bottle, specialized interact text for breaking open doors, AI detection rework to make the UI show distance, add confirmation pop-up for return to main menu, add an interact text blurb to leave the locker, add the visualize, add a visual element to get the player's attention on the windows in the basement, implementing chase music, text text to pickup flashlight that appears after pickup, add landmarks slash unique assets. The main ones we focused on were exit signs, cafeteria signs, elevator signs, implementing hospital, wildlife assets, implementing ambiance music, implementing updated monster model, add a visual effect to show flashlight ghost monster. When interacting with the ghost monster, a detection fails to load properly from death and restart. Battle interact text overlaps with other types of text. So, without further ado, let us get started with Shattered Sanity, also formerly known as So No One Will Cry. Okay. Let's go back. Alright. First things first. Save. Resume. You can clearly see that the ambiance music is implemented. There it is, ambiance music implemented. Resume. Alright, let us continue. Walk here. Unique assets. Well, not specifically mine, but still unique assets nonetheless. We have the cafeteria. Alright. Let's enter locker. Press left mouse button to leave locker. So that's also there, as previously stated. Left mouse button to interact. And the reason why I have this set up is just to make sure to show you multiple things. As you can see, so a few things were there. First, you saw the chase music was implemented. Then you saw the AI detection meter. was there. And then, let's see, another thing we want to show is, as you saw, the AI detection meter still pops up. So, sorry about that. Um, as you saw, the ambiance, chase, alright, AI detection, interact text blurb, let's see, fixed, and I believe chase music. So a good amount was set in. Let's retry this once more. Okay. Pass through. Collect. Oh, easy. Visual element was right there. Visual element was shown to show that the flashlight did interact with the ghost. So we're back here. Oh, let's collect this. Let's collect that. As you saw, there were visual indicators to show alright. To pick up bottle. Please pick up the bottle. You see it doesn't interact with anything else. We have a visual indicator based on the flashlight through the window. Oh, let's lower down the music a bit. Oh, still got caught. Let's retry one more time. Nope, still got me. Let's see. All right, and then elevator right here. Nope, button. Let's see. Statistics. Continue. Let's continue. All right, you see hospital level, same as well. Same setup. Let's get that. Text right there. Sorry. Unique asset right there. I don't know. I said text. Let's see if he'll move away. Oh, and let's see. I have to make a generator. Oh, took a bottle. We were caught. You try. Seems like we're gonna have to do this multiple times. I already got a wrench. Let's see. Hmm. Escape controls. Let's see. Forward, down, interact. Yeah. Oh, there it is. I had to repair the cage, not the button. So, my mistake. Just set this up. There's no more wrenches, so we're just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Mhm. Well, uh, as you can see, everything seems to be working fine. You saw I fixed it when we were breaking the cages and everything. So I think, with all that being said, I do believe that I got everything down for for my assignments. A little bit of reworking for the AI detection, but all around it works pretty well. And with all that being said, I'm going to call it here and thank you for your time.
Hello everyone, my name is Eris Tori, a member of Team Lunar, and we're gonna be demonstrating Shattered Sanity, the game that we have created. But first off, we're going to lower the game music, but we're also going to lower the sound effect a little bit since since there were some additions of sound effects that we're gonna be finding. All right, so let's head to the hospital level, which is the level I created. But first off, before we continue, we're going to go through our Jira task. So as you can see here, my initials, AT. This is Jira task that this is going to be checking out, or demonstrating actually. Okay, let's go. Okay, so as you can see, there's an exit sign over here. There's also another exit sign in the level in the ending of the level. There's dead patients around. There's the medical assets around here. There's an updated hospital bed over here. Is this debris over here? This actually looks like an actual abandoned hospital at this point. Okay, so we're gonna check on where there's a sound effect where you can go and open a visual effect where the oh, it caught me. Anyway, there's a sound effect when the locker when we go to the locker in and out. It just also, as you can see, there's a visual effect where the skill check has failed. So let's see what we've seen so far. So we added updated floor access to hospital level. Add updated exit sign access to hospital level. We're seeing skill check visual effect, or skill check fail visual effect. See, add updated medical assets to hospital level. Add updated hospital beds assets to the hospital level. And add debris props to hospital level. Add an audio cue where wait man, that's the wrong one. I just passed it. Add audio feedback for getting in, not a locker. Add and implementing dead patient at hospital level. Okay, so let's continue. All right. Come in the locker. Okay, so it should be fine here. All right. All right, now the door's closed. Let's grab this thing right here. It's the trophy. It's the trophy over there. All right. And so as you can see, this generator over here. So we are going to. Oh yeah, the sliding doors. This is another thing I added for my task. So go back to the Jira tags. Implement updated art assets to sliding doors. Then that's for this part right here. Now for the practice area. I will explain to you about the print strings. Okay, so the print string is where the enemy is either pursuing or investigating or even patrolling. But there's like a text of a print string where it shows that letting us know if the enemy is investigating or something like that. But it doesn't show in the game now. So we removed the print string for the introduction to practice area in the hospital level. So back to the game. Let's open the door. You see the enemy right here. Alright, so we gotta wait. So we're not gonna close cage yet though. You see, there was a sound effect for the tutorial pop-up, which is on the top left. Oh, we hear the ghost sound effect too. So this is exactly where the noise came from, which actually are the ghosts. It is pretty much. Abandoned hospitals are pretty much creepy. But let's pick the wrench up. Let's pick the wrench up. Oh, the enemy's right. It's on the there he is. All right, so we're gonna be going through here. Gotta be careful. Let's grab this. That's also a generator. As we heard, this generator sound effect that if we put like any missing parts in there, it will play a sound, which we already did. And so all right, now that's finished. Now that's done. Let's get. Actually, wait. Quickly. Okay, that was close. Okay, so we will see. We're gonna have to wait so we can trap the enemy. All right. Let's trap the enemy. Open the door. All right, there's. Let's just forget about the trophy for right now. All right, so what we seen around here was the new ghost models, and what happens when a ghost reappears. So these are the so implement updated model for ghost monster. So from back then the ghosts were actually like T-posing, but now that there's like updated models for the ghost monsters, and also added the sound effect for them either reappearing, for them reappearing. And this is exactly what I added in this game. All right, so going forward. Oh wait, let's be careful since the enemy's over there. And we should be good. Okay, so the enemy's right here, but I want to wait for that right now yet again, because it will go to the door, go to the room right in that is in here. Then it will go back, and that's where another puzzle piece is at. All right, so it should be good now. Now let's head back quickly. Here we go. Let's do it again. There we go. Up. That was close. Up, getting the lock quickly. Alright, so we're fine. Okay, so let's wait again. There we go. So now that we got all the generators, let's open it. Let's pull the lever. Let's head out quickly. And we finally made it. Alright, so number of tiles die, 1. Number of collectors gather, only 1 out of 3. Number of bottles on 0, since I'm using a laptop. The time took to escape, 10 minutes is 6 seconds. Time spent hiding, 20 to 22 seconds. And so around here, we ensured that all everything is all grounded at level. Insert our assets are grounded are at ground level within the hospital level. And for me, I think that's pretty much it. That is all, and that is all that I got down. Want to demonstrate for my level. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until we meet again.